Good day, my friends. Today is December 16, 2023, in the year of the Lord. I was supposed to come and upload the video about deliverance and healing, but I realized that's going to be a little bit longer. So I decided to upload the dream about Obama instead of the deliverance and healing, which I will upload, but it's going to be a later day. Before I actually get into the dream, I'm going to have to give a little bit of introduction why I saw this man, explain a little bit so you will have the bigger piece of puzzle and the bigger picture of why I saw this. So this goes back in 2009 when this man became president. Of course, officially when he was running for presidency. I prayed to the Lord and I asked about this man, which we're all supposed to do, by the way. It's, I'm not the one who's supposed to be praying from just for a man who's running for presidency, but we're supposed to do that. I prayed and I asked the Lord, and I had received a message that this man is not a good man. So the name Lawlessness was written over his head, Obama. Okay, this was back in 2009. And I also would like to mention that in 2009, I had a very dedicated life. Back then, I prayed about 17 to 18 hours a day. This was my life. And I also fasted. I also abstained myself for an entire year and maybe even going into 2010 from watching TV. So I never opened TV in 2010. I don't remember a day that I actually watched any of the State of the Union addresses for this man. Every time this man came on, I never watched them. I never listened to him because the spirit within me always got agitated every time I saw this man. So I try to avoid him as much as I can. Now, fast forward, let's come to 2012. Exactly on November 6, 2012, which was the day of election, when he was running again for his second term, I prayed again. And I asked the Lord for this man not to be president. Flat out, I'm telling you. That's what I prayed and that's what I asked. Of course, that's not the answer that I got. On contrary, the Lord told me, no, this man is going to be president because it's written. But he also gave me a very specific, revelation about his presidency. He said, this man will become president again, but halfway through his presidency, he said, and this is his second term, by the way, in 2012, he said something is going to happen, that those who vouched for him and voted for him will rise against him, which I personally didn't understand, obviously, because the Lord was not revealing what was going to happen, what's going to happen, that the people who voted for him will rise against him. But whatever the Lord said, I recorded it in my book with a date and I put it on the side and I accepted it because, I trust in the Lord and I know that everything he does, there is a perfect plan in his wording. Also, every other dream that the Lord had given me, I would say that it's prophetic and biblical, which I've mentioned before. In 2009, he had given me a dream about the rapture. The rapture is the ascension process, by the way. So it's and then 2009 and then 2012 when this man became president. After that, I had a dream about him in 2014. And then I had another dream about Hillary in 2016. And it goes on and on and on and on. But I'm going to stick with coming after the 2012 message. The Lord had given me the dream in 2014. I am seeing myself in my own house, but in the middle of my sitting room, I see this man, Obama, standing in the middle of my sitting room. So I live in a 2-story townhouse, and I'm standing on top of the stairs, and I'm watching him, and I'm seeing him standing in the middle of my sitting room. So he is standing on a shattered big pieces of glasses, like a carpet. It was a carpet. Shattered big pieces of glasses like a carpet. And everybody knows a regular, normal man would not be able to stand on a shattered pieces of glasses without harming themselves or without bleeding. But this man was standing as very normal, as if it was normal for him to stand on that shattered pieces of glasses carpet. But that was in my house. So when I'm seeing him from top of the stairs, I'm looking at him and I'm telling him, I'm asking him, what are you doing in my house? You have no business to be in my house. So he looks at me with a smirk and a sarcasm. So what I do is I point the finger at him because I'm watching him from the second floor and even from the top of the stairs. So I was at the top and he was at the bottom, like this. I was here and he was there. So I'm pointing my finger and I'm showing the door, and I'm telling him to exit my house because he has no business to be in my house. So I'm telling him, leave my house now. Of course, he's not answering to me. He's not getting engaged into a conversation with me. The only thing he's saying is okay, he's obeying, and he's exiting my house. So he opens the door and he gets out of the house, but he leaves the door open and he's standing outside. So now I come down from the stairs. I come to the edge where the carpet of the big pieces of the shattered glasses were, like a carpet, and I try to roll the carpet because I'm doing it so carefully not to bleed my fingers and not to harm myself. So I try to roll it and roll it and roll it very carefully, taking my time until I come to the edge. I roll it, I actually put it on my shoulder, and I come to the door and I throw the carpet of the shattered glasses right behind him. And I tell him, take this. I do not want this in my house. I don't want it. I don't want to be part of it. And I'm not going to accept it, basically. So after this, the scene is changing. This is scene number 1, by the way. The scene is changing and I'm seeing myself at the bottom of a mountain. I'm standing at the bottom of the mountain and I'm going to go up the mountain. But next to me, Obama changes into a goat. Okay, he changes, he manifests and transforms into a goat. I'm not sure how much you all know about the Baphomet statue in Oklahoma City of Baphomet. You can go research. That's the goat he turned into. Just want to give the exact explanation of what I saw and what happened. Now this is my right hand. So this is my fist. I put my hand into his mouth, the mouth of the goat. I hold it from his teeth and I start dragging him up the mountain. Now, of course, everybody that is going to climb the mountain, like hiking mountains, it requires tools and nails and ropes and all that stuff. I, on the other hand, climbed that mountain without requiring any of those tools. And as difficult as it was, which was a steep for anyone to go up and down the mountain, it was difficult. It was a very, very supernatural and easy process for me. But I had my difficulty because now not only I had to carry my weight, I had to carry this goat that I'm holding from his teeth, my hand being in his mouth, and I was dragging the goat up the mountain. All the more I was dragging him up, all the more this goat was rebelling and did not want to go up. And of course, the goat was taking itself down and it was rebelling. It didn't want to obey to go up the mountain. But it doesn't matter. As much as the goat gave me a hard time, I still dragged that goat all the way at the top of the mountain. And when I came to the peak, the top, where I'm going to do my last pull, I already noticed that when I pulled him and dragged him, he was already dead. So I just threw the goat on the ground, basically. When he was on the ground dead, what I did is I stood there on top of the mountain and I had this inhale and exhale, the comfort of breathing. It's like the smell of victory, the sound of victory. And I started praising the Lord as I was victorious in my, project, basically, operation. I was very victorious. So I praised the Lord. I was happy. And after that, I woke up. Now, of course, this dream has a biblical meaning to it. It is biblical, okay? I had the message back in 2012 when I asked the Lord, And I told him, you told me this man is a lawless. Why are you allowing him to become president again? He had given me the message that this is important because of what was going to take place in the near future. So I said, okay. After that, when he also gave me the message that halfway through his second term, which was his second term, something is going to happen, that those who voted for him will turn against him and will rise up against him. I personally really didn't understand what it was. But after I saw the dream in 2014, if we move fast forward in 2015, we know what happened. Donald John Trump came down from the escalator and he ran for presidency. And everybody knows the man, God bless his heart, bless his soul. He has all my prayers. He has God's protection upon him, that he brought the biggest awakening movement into America, that a lot of people who were registered as Democrats actually turned against the Democrats and became Republicans because they started seeing the truth about the Democratic Party. This is not a political, it's biblical. But when the Lord told me that, I personally couldn't understand. Because if you guys remember, if you go back and check all the YouTube messages, there were many, many people. I don't know whether they were self-proclaimed prophets or whatever they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. The point is, there were many people coming on YouTube in 2013, 2012, 2014, and prophesying doom and gloom over this nation, over America. There was only one prophet, which I love. God bless him. May he rest in peace. Kim Clement, which he prophesied the goodness of this nation. That's all I know, that God was not bringing judgment. Everybody was prophesying judgment, and this was the only prophet that prophesied no, judgment was not coming on America, by the way. So the dream has a very biblical meaning to it. Whatever the Lord had told me, of course, fulfilled by Donald John Trump running to the presidency office, because that's the exact wording that he said. Whatever he told me, it came to pass. Yeah, whatever people who voted for Obama actually turned against him and voted for Trump. This is in 2016. It happened exactly what Jesus said. But there is further to it. When he gave me that dream in 2014, I personally still didn't understand except one thing. Back then, I understood one thing, which I'm going to mention right now. This man standing in the middle of my sitting room, in my home, being in my inside of my house, and I'm standing on the second floor, looking at him from the stairs, means I don't represent myself. I am not me in my dream. It means looking from above. It means this man was being watched by people which were in the higher hierarchy. Okay, it could be the good people of the military. You can call God was watching him. Call whatever. You can define and put it under however banner you would like to put it. But the point is, this man was being watched because I was standing on top of the stairs watching him from above, and he was standing at the bottom. So when I'm asking him, what are you doing in my house? You have no business to be here. The smirk and the sarcasm he was having, that represented the fact that this man was a president in 2014 over America, which was true. That's why he was in my house, which means this man was a president over this nation, over the families of this nation, over America. Him actually standing on top of the shattered big pieces of glass, okay, and it was like a carpet. It means the damage that he had caused to these people, to this nation, and with the policies and the laws and executive orders that he had signed and everything that he had put in place. Okay, he was standing on it because he was the one who put in place all those policies, laws, and executive orders. He was standing on the damage. Okay? When I'm asking him from the top, showing him the door for him to exit, and him actually getting out of the house without rebelling, And standing outside, it means this man is going to be brought up to public. He's going to be taken from his presidency and brought up to public, outside, to public, because the outside means the public eye, okay? The fact that he is leaving when he's told to leave, it means this man will be stripped of his presidency title. He's not leaving on his term. He's being kicked out. He will be stripped off of his presidency title. That's what it means. After he is brought up to public, in the public eye. And mind you, this was in 2014, my dear friends. This is not new. Which means this is still welcome, and you will all witness this, whatever dream I had about 9 years ago. The shattered glasses, which was covered, the damage that he was standing on, and the fact that I rolled, which I'm not me, I represent all the good guys, the patriots, and the white hats, the good people that will rise and put hand in hand together to make sure that everything this man has done, it's going to be reversed, because we're rolling it. I was rolling it. So everything he put in place is going to be rolled back, reversed back. This means every executive order this man signed, every policy he put in place, everything he passed as a law, it's going to be reversed. It's going to be null and void, because I rolled it and I threw behind it and I said, I don't want to be part of it, and this is not going to be in my house. This has no place in my house, which means the nation is rising to reject his policies and laws and whatever he had caused damage. That's what it means, throwing it after him. But there is even more into the shattered pieces of glasses. It means Operation Sandman, my dear friends. Operation Sandman actually is very important, because it is, when I looked into it, when initially I got revealed, guess what Operation Sandman is? Operation Sandman is Saudi Arabia announcing the end of dollar dominance in global oil trade. So our petrodollar is no longer the reserved money. But I'm seeing this back in 2014, which means God already had plans for us. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He already had good plans for us. Plans to prosper us, to give us hope and future. I saw this in 2014, not now. But when did Operation Sandman come into play? This was actually in January of 2023. And right now we are seeing it even more, because more nations are actually joining the BRICS nations. Okay? The second part, where I saw this man transformed into the goat, and specifically the Baphomet goat, it means this man is involved in pedophilia and perversion, and it's going to come to light. You see, as I mentioned again, I'm not me. I represent the good patriots, the good guys, the white hats, the good military, I would say, okay? Dragging this goat up the mountain. The mountain represents the Lord. The tough and the difficult walk, the righteous walk with the Lord, and the time that we are bearing until we get this darkness up on top of the mountain and finally put the nail on the coffin, the last nail on the coffin. There was a lot of rebellion from the goat. Didn't want to go up. He didn't want to go up. It means most of the things that he did in darkness, that he put in place, he's rebelling. He didn't want to go up. He didn't want those things to be revealed. But I'm reaching the top of the mountain, which means we're going to have a resolution. We're going to come to an end. This is coming to an end, my dear friends. It's coming to an end. And when I had dragged him for the last time, the goat was already dead. It means Everything this man has done is coming to light in public by the hand of God, because the mountain represents the Lord. By the hand of God. And all the crimes that he committed against humanity, treason, sedition, everything, he's gonna have to answer for that. And you know, if you touch children, the capital punishment of that is death. That's what I see the go to death. So you come and ask me, did I really understand what I saw in 2014? I'm going to tell you no. Absolutely. But when the Lord indeed told me, you will understand when we come into the fulfillment of it, I did. Because he revealed it to me. And I started understanding. That's why he did not allow me to release these dreams and messages before, because I did not have an answer. A lot of people would come and watch. But if I cannot give the interpretation of the dream or the meaning of the messages, the message would have no meaning to it. Remember Belshazzar when he had Mene Mene Tekel Parsin in Daniel 5 on the wall? He couldn't understand, and he had to call Daniel. By the wisdom of God, that was interpreted to him, and he received the explanation. Only at the time of fulfillment we will receive the explanation of what God gives to us, which is biblically. Of course, Obama represents one of the wicked leaders of, of this nation. And I had released a prophetic word that God had given me, that he's going to deal with the wicked leaders of all nations, not just the wicked leaders of this nation, of all nations. And we are coming to see the fulfillment of that right now. Now, before I end this video, I just want to say, I received another dream on December 6, 2023, which was about last week. Just about 10 days ago, I would say, yeah, because today is the 16th. It was a very, very, very detail-oriented dream. It had 3 parts. What we are going through right now, the revival of faith, coming back to God. The second part had to do with the lockdowns, and those who understand from the higher up know exactly what I mean. And the third part is the transfer of wealth to all the nations. I'm going to pray to God and see if he's going to allow me, give me permission to share this with you. If he does, then I will come back and tell you, my dear friends, no matter how much we feel like darkness is hovering over our head, but know this, God has a plan for us. Always remember Jeremiah 29 verse 11, and never forget, we have the great God, the Lord of glory, the King of glory, who has never abandoned us. He never left us alone. And he has good plans for us. Until next time, my dear friends, please stay blessed. God bless and Godspeed.